Hey guys, I wanted to talk today about makeup that I personally have forgotten about and makeup products from a lot of my favorite brands that I feel like don't get enough attention. These are pretty much like the unsung heroes in my makeup collection. And I've been doing a lot of like walking down memory lane, but I also feel like I have been like revisiting my makeup collection a lot lately. I don't know why. I'm just like in this like mode of like going back into my collection and like really kind of digging through past favorites or whatever, because we're so inundated with like new releases. And I love new releases. I love trying out new products. It is, well, obviously, it's like one of my all-time favorite things to do. But there are so many amazing makeup products that are already existing, that have existed for so long, that I feel like need a little bit of love. And I'm gonna start with this product, which I have talked about, which I'm not exactly sure what the status of this product is, because I thought it was discontinued, but it's out there, and I purchased this off of Nordstrom. Now, it used to come in 4 shades. I think I'm only seeing like 2 shades available. So I got the lightest one. This is the Sicily. It's basically their tinted sunscreen. The long full name of this is the Tinted Sunscreen Cream. It has a broad spectrum SPF 30. It's water resistant up to 40 minutes. And I have shade 1 natural. I think shade number 2 is called Golden. And if I remember correctly, back in the day, they had 4 shades altogether. The SPF in here is mineral SPF. I've talked about this product. I've talked about wanting them to bring it back, like all the things. And I don't know, I was just kind of poking around. I was like, did they finally reformulate it or whatever? And they had it. They had it at Nordstrom. I think I saw it at Bloomingdale's also. It could also be on the Sicily site, but I feel like most of the shades were out of stock. Anyway, like I said, I don't know the status of this product, but it is so good. This is one of the very first Sicily products that I fell in love with. The first one was definitely that baked gel powder bronzer. Just so incredible. But this guy, this was like definitely like a sneaky one, because I remember I went to the counter and I was trying all these foundations of theirs. Some good, some didn't really work for me. And then I was like, what is this? Because the tube just sort of caught my eye. And they're like, oh, well, that's a tint. It's more like SPF. It's like part of their sun care line. And I was like, oh, well, let me try that. It is phenomenal. It is so creamy. Let me squeeze out a little bit. And this tube, by the way, is a bit more than a fluid ounce. So it's 1.3 fluid ounces. It's 40 mils. And I'm gonna squeeze out just a little bit here. Can you see that silky creaminess to it? Oh, it's so good. So good. So I'm going to apply this with you guys. Can you see how rich this texture is? But it's not goopy or oily. Anyway, let me shut up and like actually blend it in. So I'm actually gonna use my Westman Atelier liquid blender brush, and I'll talk a little bit more about this, but the Westman Atelier brushes, these are also some unsung heroes in my makeup collection, but I'm gonna use this guy and blend in. I mean, look at this brush. It's so good. So good. Okay, let me blend this in. And this is absolutely one of the best tinted sunscreens with mineral sunscreen in there versus chemical sunscreen. So there is titanium dioxide and zinc oxide in here. And what I have found generally is when I wear a tinted sunscreen that has mineral sunscreen, by the end of the day, I feel like a lot of the, I don't know, like the base of the product has either been absorbed or has worn away, and I'm kind of left with that mineral grittiness, and I'll be left with, almost like a white cast on my skin. And obviously that's not super great. So I don't like that. And then a lot of times when they use chemical sunscreen, I feel like the product gets like super duper glowy. I do think they're improving on that for sure. But at least the experience that I've had is that those sunscreens get glowier and glowier as the day goes on. This is the most consistent looking sunscreen. It doesn't wear away strangely. It doesn't leave any of that like white cast behind. It doesn't have like a gritty feeling to it. It's not hard to blend out, as you can see. And it is like the super rich, like silky texture of the base that I'm guessing the titanium dioxide and the zinc oxide are sitting in that just makes it absolutely beautiful. So I mean, look at that. So I'm squeezing a bit more out. And I will tell you, whether this had sunscreen in it or not, I would still say this is one of my favorite base products because it just looks so natural. It feels so good on the skin. And I never recommend, depending on the sunscreen in any of your makeup products, like your foundation or whatever, because generally, at least for me personally, I'm never putting enough on to even get the SPF 30 that's in here. I think it's great. It definitely can't hurt. But I usually use like an SPF 50 or whatever. But like I said, this is just a great base product. Whether or not it has SPF in there, it is just a phenomenal base product. So if you guys have been watching me since like the very beginning, this will look very familiar to you. I'm sure you remember me talking about this particular product. I really do love it. I really wish I knew what was going on with this particular base product, but it is absolutely phenomenal. There is a slight fragrance to it. I do just want to mention, it's that Sicily fragrance. It's like, I think it's a lavender, which is not my favorite, but it's very light. It's very unoffensive. It doesn't really bother me in this product because it's so amazing. I'm just so excited this is back in my life. I mean, look at that beautiful sheen. It's such a rich texture, but as soon as you start blending it in, the texture of it kind of blends away and you're left with this really beautiful coverage, this really beautiful sheen, and absolutely no like mineral sunscreen strangeness. It is phenomenal. I cannot say enough good things about this tinted sunscreen from Sicily. And did you guys see Sicily has come out with, I don't think it's released in the US yet, but I saw it was Charlotte Holcroft. She just made a short like unboxing the new Sicily Orchid highlighter. What? So they have those 3 orchid blushes and now they've come out with, it looks like a baked gel powder highlighter. I cannot wait to get my greedy little paws on that highlighter. I'm very, very excited for that. Okay, the next, I guess I should call them like a grouping of products, are the Surratt Artistic powders. So they have artistic blushes. You can see I'm a big fan. And they also have artistic eyeshadows, which I feel like one is loose here. Hold on, before I hold it up. The artistic eyeshadows. These powders, quote unquote, are so incredible. They start out kind of like a big dough and then they get baked. So they definitely present as powders for sure, but they kind of just melt onto your skin and they're, oh my God, they're so phenomenal. Obviously the color range is so incredible. And I'm gonna use this shade, which is Grisal. It's like their contour shade, but I'm gonna use it as like contour bronzer. I'm gonna use my Westman Atelier powder brush. I'm just gonna go into this powder. I mean, I think, you know, us diehard makeup fans, we can really appreciate Surratt Beauty, but it's a brand that I don't think is talked about enough. But these products especially are not talked about. And I do actually have another product of theirs that I could talk about. But look at how beautiful this contour is. And I've said this before, and I will say it again, that I watched a Troy Surratt interview, or maybe I read one, I can't remember anymore. Either read or watched one where he equated a bad contour with like a bad toupee, where it's just something that's like very, very obvious. And so I love the subtlety of this particular shade. I love the subtlety of these artistic formulas because they're really kind of like creeper. They creep up on you on how good they are because you're like, oh, okay, they look nice in the pan. You apply them, but it's like there's some magic that happens once you apply them because they really do kind of like fuse with your skin. Just absolutely phenomenal and really, really magical. And by the way, I feel like every time I hold up this crazy Surratt palette, people ask me where it's from. It's from Adept Cosmetics. I'm not even sure if they make this palette anymore, but in case you were wondering, that's where this palette is from. And this one that I was holding up, this little guy, this is actually one of the Surratt palettes. So they have palettes that fit like 6 of the eyeshadows or 3 of the blushes, or they have a smaller palette that fits 4 and 2, if you like. So that's what I was holding up. Let's talk about a blush. So, wow, I've got a couple of blush options. I have all of those Ciroc blushes, which are absolutely gorgeous, but I've got two blushes here. The Victoria Beckham Color Wash Blush Water Tint. Now, you guys know I love Victoria Beckham makeup. I feel like she's done a really good job with that beauty line. The Satin Kajal liners are a hit for sure. The glosses are great. She's got those blush sticks that are really beautiful. Her eye quads are really lovely. Anyway, a great line. But I don't feel like anyone has really talked about this color wash, and it is absolutely phenomenal. I think what I'll do is actually demo this on the back of my hand. I think that could work. Okay, so we've got like a little dropper guy, right? The little depressor button at the top there. And then what it does, let me see if I can get real close here. What it does is it dispenses the product. It doesn't just drip it right down. It kind of dispenses it over that ball. So it kind of like falls over that ball, and then you can kind of tap that onto your cheek. So you just get this little bit. You'll never be in danger of like dropping too much. That's it. So I'll just do 3 drops. And then I think what I was so pleasantly surprised at was how easily it blended out, and the texture of it. I really thought it was going to be kind of a gimmick, if you will, but I really like, sorry, I just dropped another drop there, but I really like the texture of this actual product. But you just start patting your fingers over it, and you really get this beautiful, like, flush stain. Isn't that nice? It's so much more even than I thought. The formula, like, is so much easier to work with than I thought. I thought, oh my gosh, this like watery, almost like a watercolor. I thought it was gonna be kind of streaky in a way. It's not at all. I think they did such a good job with this formula. It really is this beautiful wash of color. Anyway, I just wanted to kind of like talk about this particular unsung hero in my collection, because I don't think enough people talk about this product. But the blush that I wanted to use today is actually part of a face palette, and I have not used this in a really long time, but I remember loving it when I first got it. And I actually checked Nordstrom, which is where I picked this up, and they still had this product. So this is the Louboutin Face Trio. This is, I believe, refillable, right? Yeah, this is refillable. I think I need something to take this out. Oh yeah, sorry, there's like a little pinhole back here. I don't have one handy. Otherwise, I would grab the name of this particular one, because I think they had 2 or 3 like face palettes. I'll link to it down below, or it'll be tagged underneath here. But these are all baked gel powders, and it came with 2 powders and 1 highlight. And then let's not forget the crazy packaging from Louboutin, the spikes here. Isn't that fun? And this is a spike too. Anyway, despite its glitzy packaging and this like faux animal, which is actually like the bottom of a shoe pattern, it's a great product. And I feel like when it comes to Louboutin, we started talking about the nail polishes. Was that the first thing that came out? And then some of the lip products. I feel like the lip glosses and a lot of the lipsticks. I mean, I'm a big fan of a lot of the Louboutin lip products, but this is definitely just kind of underrated or not really spoken about. So I am gonna use it today. I'm gonna use my Westman Atelier powder brush, and I think I will go into, should I do the peach or the pink? I think I'm gonna do the peach. Actually, let me do swatches, because the peach has this really beautiful golden sheen to it, and the pink just has like a nice satin sheen. Aren't those gorgeous? And they still feel really velvety in the pan. And I've had this for so long. I've had this palette for so long. Every time I declutter, I'm like, oh, I should really get rid of it. And then I'll go in and I'll do like a little swatch, and I'm like, it's still amazing. It is still absolutely amazing. So we're gonna use the peach today, because can you guys see that like gold sheen that it has? It's so pretty. My gosh, the pigmentation is still there. Stunning. Absolutely stunning. I have to keep this palette out. It is so gorgeous. And in fact, I think I'm going to use this highlight that's in here too. It's very white and frosty, but we're going to go with it. I'm actually going to use this Westman Atelier Powder 2 brush. This is the brush that came out with the powder blushes, the duos, and it's a great brush. I love how it comes to this like point at the top, but it's still like round and fluffy. It's great. So shiny. So uber shiny. All right, and as for eyeshadows, may I reintroduce you to the Clé de Peau quads. I don't think I've talked about these. I definitely have used them since, but I have not talked about these since they were released a couple of years ago. I think a couple of years ago, they redid their quads. Do you guys remember their quads used to be like 4 across? And Benjamin Puckey, who is such an incredible makeup artist, I was lucky enough to have met him at one point, and he's just a darling. Anyway, he explained to me that we've got, 3 powder products here, but this, in every one of their quads, this bottom left-hand shade is like a putty kind of formula. And you can maybe see it in this pan here where I've used it to death. And it's meant to go down kind of like a primer. It does have a little bit of a tint to it, obviously. It is different in every single quad. Let me just pull up another one. Like here, you can see this one. It's much warmer, actually. Can you tell? It's much warmer and deeper in this palette than in this palette. Anyway, it is meant to act as like a bit of an eye primer. It is to help the other colors really shine, if that's what you want. It really amps them up if that's what you want to do. I don't necessarily think that the other 3 shadows need it, but it does give it this kind of base. It's like priming a wall, when you're about to paint it. Anyway, it's such a cool texture, and you can even wear it alone because it has such a beautiful like satin sheen to it. So I'm going to apply it. I am going to use the Westman Atelier Baby Blender brush, and you'll see just how pretty it is all on its own. It's a beautiful, like, one and done shade. It's actually pretty incredible. So anyway, I just put that down over here. Let me apply it to my other eye. Like, great, very simple, polished look, but I'm gonna go ahead and apply some more of these eyeshadows. And this palette I'm holding up is number 4, Ocean Sunrise. All of these palettes are refillable, so you can just pop them in and out. Super great. I'm just gonna use the Westman Atelier eyeshadow 1 brush. I'm gonna go into this like camel shade here. I love that. Love this shade. Pretty much all over my lid. But the primer is so great. It's a little bit sticky. I mean, not so much so that like you can feel it or anything, but there's just a hint of tackiness, which really helps with laying down these shadows. So that's this light shade. I'm gonna go into this medium brown shade. I'm just gonna take the same brush. Just deepen up my outer corners here. That's what's so great about this brush. Have you guys seen this eyeshadow 1 brush? Kind of comes to a point, so you can use the angles, like this side. So I'll just use like 1 angle of the brush and use it to kind of create like a nice line here. It's very cool. I love this brush. All right, so that is the Clé de Peau eyeshadow quad. Let me just show you some other ones that I love. This one is number 7. I think it's called Starlight Splendor. So these have a little bit of a pink tint to them. Really, really pretty. That's probably my second favorite. And then the other one that I use quite a bit, let me pull this out. It is number 3, Sun-Dried Driftwood. And I know you all can guess why I love this one. This one shade is so pretty. It's like taupey, but there's a little bit of lilac in there. Isn't that stunning? Look at that deep purple. Oh, it's gorgeous. So I love these quads from Clé de Peau. Definitely don't talk about these enough. Okay, we've talked about the Surratt Artistic eyeshadows. I'm just gonna like hold them up just one more time because what a glorious, glorious view that is. Their eyeshadow, just like their blushes. They start out as this dough, they get baked down, and they are just stupendous. They behave so beautifully. They are unlike any other formula you will use out there. I've gone on and on about Surratt's formulas, so I'll stop there. But there is another eye product that I did want to talk about. These are from RMS. I featured these in like a favorites video a few months ago, and they were new to me, but they definitely were not new. And I don't know. I don't know why I like slept on these, but the RMS eye lights. So this is the outer packaging. Here is strobe, which you can see I love. I traveled with this a little bit last year. I think I took these to New York. So maybe I talked about these like a year ago. Wow, time really flies. Anyway, for a cream eyeshadow, these are so good. I mean, the packaging is a little fussy, right? Because you've got basically this like teeny tiny paint tube. So I just unscrew it. I tap my finger on the top there. But look at that color. It is the smoothest, most beautiful metallic sheen. And I love this one. Did I tell you the shade name? It's Strobe. Gorgeous taupe, which you guys know. I go gaga over. And it's so smooth. Like, do you see how beautiful that is? It's so smooth. And it sets down so it doesn't crease, it doesn't fade, it doesn't smudge. It's so easy to use because it's so highly pigmented. So it doesn't get patchy or anything. You just like blend it out and you just have this like whoop, this like metallic foil over your lids. Oh my God, these are absolutely incredible. So had to mention these. I don't feel like I hear people talk about these products too much. I've seen people do like full face of RMS. I mean, absolutely gorgeous. There's so many RMS products that I love, but I really wanted to shout out these guys because they're stunning, absolutely stunning. Just gonna curl my lashes here. For mascara, I'm gonna use a mascara that has been a long time favorite of mine. Again, I don't feel like we're talking about this incredible product. This is definitely an unsung hero in my makeup collection, but this is the Surat Noir Lash Tint. I actually just unboxed a brand new one because I had tossed the old one. And I love, love, love the wand on this because it is bristleless. It is basically like a screw. So the threading is what catches all the product. And for someone with really puny lashes, I love that I don't have to like navigate these big ass bristles, which invariably like really fluffy mascara wands, I always end up getting it all over my eyelid because I just don't have a lot of lash. I don't have a lot of lash. So I love this wand. Even if you don't like this wand, the formula is so good because it keeps my curl and I love how it separates and lengthens my lashes. It doesn't make them look too spidery. I don't really like that look, but they're not, you know, it's not clumpy like a volumizing mascara. It's like a Your Lashes, but better. And it's so incredible. This is absolutely one of my all-time favorite mascaras, like hands down. And then for lips, there is one lipstick that came out, I think sometime last year. It was a revamping of their lipstick line, and I love the packaging, I love the shades, I love the formula. I use this color every once in a while, but I don't know, there really hasn't been a lot of buzz around these lipsticks, at least not to me. I mean, I still do watch quite a bit of beauty YouTube, can't help myself. But these are the NARS Explicit lipsticks. So these came out, like I said, like last year sometime. Gorgeous packaging. I love this 3D lettering and this black on black. It's so NARS. And then we've got these magnetic caps, really, really nice. The shade that I love is Exposed, number 800. And it's this gorgeous nude color. And they're this beautiful cream lipstick. And I don't really know why there hasn't been a lot more buzz. Again, I just don't feel like I've heard a lot of buzz, not since its release. So this is a lipstick that I do reach for, and I was thinking about like some of my favorite nude lipsticks, and I thought of this one, and I was like, you know, why don't we talk about this whole explicit lipstick line more? So anyway, I thought I would feature this today and apply it. I mean, it's just great. Great pigmentation, great formula, really straightforward, no surprises, gorgeous colors. I mean, fabulous. They're fabulous. And I just want to leave you on Westman Atelier brushes. I have, I think, all of the brushes. I have multiples of most of them. I purchased all of these brushes myself except for, I believe, this one, this powder 2 brush. So when they came out with their powder blush duos, they came out with this powder 2 brush, and I believe this was sent to me. But all of the other brushes that I have, from Westman Atelier. I purchased myself. I love them that much. So they're all synthetic haired. They're all handmade in Japan. And I love Westman Atelier. I mean, I talk about their products. I've talked about their products like until I've been blue in the face. I love them. But I don't think I've talked about their brushes too much. Maybe their baby blender brush. You guys know how much I love this brush for one and done shadows, for cream shadows. I absolutely love it. So maybe that brush I've talked about a lot, but I don't think I've talked about their brushes in general and how much I love them. So this brush, this blender brush from them, this kabuki style brush, this I think may have been the first brush that I fell in love with from them. I think the second one was a baby blender brush. Anyway, this blender brush is a flat top kabuki, right? It looks like any other kind of flat top kabuki brush, but there's something very interesting about these bristles that they use because they're very soft, they're very pliable. There's obviously a density to this brush because of its shape, but there's something really smushy, smushy, and like, do you see how you can almost like form the brushes, the bristles in the direction that you want to? And I believe this was specially designed. Actually, one of you, my wonderful subscribers here, mentioned to me that this brush was specifically designed to fit into their super loaded tinted highlight. So it was created for like cream products, but I use this with these products. I use it with their Suntone bronzing drops. I've used this with other cream products, other liquid products. And, you know, usually when I think of flat, you know, these kind of kabuki style brushes, I think of powder products and how I want to kind of buff them out. You know, that's why Sonia G has all of these buffer brushes. They're so great for that. But this I find actually great for liquid and cream products. And I mean, it's just phenomenal. And I actually purchased like their travel set when they came out with this, I think a couple holidays ago, these short-handled red ones. I actually got the set for this blender brush because I just loved it so much, and I thought, oh, it'd be great to have like a smaller one that I could travel with. But that brush is great. The baby blender is great. I also really love their eyeshadow. Is this their eyeshadow 1 or 2? This is their eyeshadow 1 brush. So I just use this to apply that Clé de Peau. So it's a pointy, like flat shader brush. However, I'm not sure if you can tell, but this side of the brush is flat, and then this side has contoured bristles. So it's just really neat because you can use like one angle here and really get like a nice crisp line like what I did, or you can use it and start and get like the point right into your inner corner here and blend out. It's fantastic. I love the shape of this brush. I think it's so unique and so well designed. So that brush is great. They have an eyeshadow 2 brush, which is basically like their baby blender brush, but with these wispy tips at the top. So you get like a little bit of a softer application. So I like to use this with their iPods. I do also like to use this with powder shadows. Yeah, just all of their brushes are just great. They have this powder brush, which is great for powder, blush, bronzer. I just used this one. Yeah, I have 2 of these. I used this one for the contour today. They do have a flat paddle foundation brush. This is the first one that they released with their foundation stick, the Vital Skin foundation stick. This is a really nice flat paddle brush. Yeah, I really, really love their brushes, and I just feel like I never really talk about the brushes, at least definitely not as much as I talk about the makeup products from Westman Atelier, but their brushes are absolutely fantastic. So just wanted to shout those out today in today's video. So anyway, that is it. Please share with the class. Let us know what some of the unsung makeup heroes are in your collection. I would love to hear from you, but I love doing these videos where we're just talking about products that are so great that we probably already have in our collection, or, you know, with all of the makeup releases that come out, which don't get me wrong, I'm just as excited as the next person for a new makeup release. But sometimes I feel like a lot of products just get like run over by this like parade of new releases that we get, and we forget sometimes. It's like, I'll put in the back of my head like, oh yeah, I really wanted, you know, to get this eyeshadow quad, and then 1,000 other eyeshadow palettes come out, and it's like, it's forgotten already. So anyway, I like going through my makeup collection. I like walking down memory lane. That's been a fun time for me lately. Yeah, and I just like shouting out these products that I think maybe have been forgotten, and they're just absolutely wonderful, wonderful products. So anyway, let us know down below, and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.